Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing something a little different apart from my daily vlog. I am hitting you guys with a story time today. Now of course, for my very first story time, I kind of do have to make it a doozy. This is a story from a long time ago. I would say probably 5 or 6 years now. I was still in high school and I was hanging out with one of my best friends. Now to give you some backstory, I guess like 2 friends were kind of involved in this. One friend told me about this place that we went to. The other friend is the one who went with me to said place. So I heard about this place near our school that has all these cool abandoned buildings. People said how they saw like spooky stuff there. It sounded like a really cool idea and like I wanted to go check it out. Who doesn't like abandoned stuff, right? My best friend of the time, and actually still best friend today, was with me. And he's kind of a prude, you know, like I could give a fuck about the rules. Like I kind of do what I want, and like if I get in trouble, you know, like I'm not out there like shooting people, but like, you know, I'll break some rules here and there. I don't really care. But he was kind of like a goody-goody, like his dad's like a whole reverend and some crap, whatever. He was with me in the car, and we were driving home from school. And on the way home from school was this place that I was told about. And it was like, I guess it was like kind of like condominiums, but they were abandoned, right? So I pull off, and I'm like, hey, friend, so-and-so told me about this place, like right up the road. We should go check it out. I know it's abandoned and it's super cool. And he's like, I don't know, you know, being the good kid that he is. And he's all, I don't know. And so I'm like, screw it, I'm driving the car, let's go. So we go to this place and it's super cool, like really creepy. So we start pulling in, right? And it's near this beach that we used to go to a lot. So we pull into this place. It's like you first enter and it's just like a regular neighborhood. And then there's a house on the right side, or a condominium that we didn't really know yet was one of the same exact ones that littered the place we were about to go to. So there was this one condominium that was perfect, looked beautiful, right in this neighborhood, and then you pass this gate and then you're into the actual condominiums where there are like, I want to say like 30 condominiums just like the one we saw on our way inside of that neighborhood. And so we start seeing more and more of these, and then they keep getting like progressively more destroyed, like graffiti, stuff thrown through the windows, like crazy stuff. So we found like a cool place to duck off and park the car. Cause who doesn't want to go and check out all of that cool stuff? So we get out and we start just like walking around, seeing like all the cool graffiti, the broken glass, kind of walking through some of these buildings. Like none of them had running water, none of them had power, but it was cool to see, you know, just explore and be a kid. And then finally we come upon the biggest building of them all. Now mind you, every single other one of these condominiums were like broken into, graffitied, blah blah blah. But in the very middle of all of these was a clubhouse. And that, my friends, is where this story takes a turn. Me being the rule-breaking, not giving a fuck kid that I was like, I want to go in there, because this clubhouse was massive. Big glass and like glass sliding doors, an empty pool in the back, multiple floors. So cool. I absolutely wish I brought a camera in there with me, but I didn't. Probably would have made my life worse thinking about it now, but it would have been cool. So we walk up looking around this place, and I'm seeing like cameras here and there, and I pulled a couple of the cameras down. Just, I don't know, out of foolery, just trying to be a bad kid. So I pulled a couple of those down, and then we get to, or actually I do remember like going under that clubhouse. Like there was a little like kind of crawl space, and we went under there, and there were like some tools and stuff. It was kind of cool. But then we go around back, and there's like this big balcony on the back overlooking the pool, but there's also these big glass sliding doors. And I'm looking at looking at my friend, and I'm like, we should go in there. Mind you, not a single piece of glass is broken on this middle building, not a single piece of graffiti. And I'm like, we should go in there. And he's like, no, being the good kid that he was, he's like, it's not open, like, you know, we can't just get in there. That's like really trespassing. I got this here rock. I'm gonna throw this rock at that door. If it breaks, we go in. If it doesn't, we don't. And so I throw it, it hits the glass, and shatter. The whole thing like did that spider web thing where like you hit one piece and then the whole piece of thing like shatters. That happened and I'm like, we're going in. I touch the glass and all of the glass falls and then we walk in. And this place was like, it was like a building out of a movie. Like it was just so historically like different. Like all of the, I don't even know how to explain it, like the flooring, the walls, the colors, it all just felt so like old and like kind of like cool, like a time capsule, because everything was just left where it was. We go into like this cool like ballroom where there's a pool table and chairs around. And on this pool table, there's a bunch of boxes. In these boxes, there's like big scrolls, like blueprints for like all of the place, like the whole condominium place. I remember seeing on the walls like big paintings like of like an overhead view of the big condominium part. There was this big box full of, I want to say it was air conditioning duct tape, but that was some of the best goddamn duct tape I've ever used ever. And I know because I took like 3 rolls of that home with me that day. That tape was so good. We make our way out of that big ballroom. Like we walked in through the back, through that glass. On the left, there was like a ballroom with like kind of like a kitchen area. We walk out of that ballroom into like this hallway area in like the very center. So it would have been like straight from the back where we walked in. On the right side, there's like this weird little kind of like ducked off room. And in there, there's, I want to say that was like an AC room or something like that. Like, I don't know what was, I don't really remember what was in that room, but it was like a kind of like a dark industrial room. So I just had like, literally 3 people walk in, so the angle's probably changed. The lighting might have changed. I don't know. I'm sorry for the little bit of jarringness, and I kind of forget where I left off. I think I was talking about that one weird little industrial room on the right side. I'll have to talk to my friend about it and see if he wants to get on a video and like help me, because his memory's better than mine. But that was like a cool little like just kind of ducked off area. It was just kind of like dark and dreary in there, no lights or anything. We left that and then we went upstairs. I don't really remember what else was downstairs. It's kind of hard to remember. But then we went upstairs, and in the upstairs was very cool. It was like their kind of office area, and that's where we kind of started really getting ourselves deep. We get into this kind of office area, and on the ground I instantly see computers, universal backup power supplies. They're like battery backups. They're UPC or APC, something like that. And so I saw 2 of those, 2 computers, and that was about all I saw. Or giant printer, you know, like just a bunch of tech stuff. And obviously me being me, I was like, whoa, free stuff. And then also up on the wall was what was very cool, a pegboard with every key to every condo in that facility. So even some of those condos that we went to were locked, and those were the ones that like didn't have broken windows and all of that, because people obviously hadn't gone in and unlocked the door already. So we seen all of those keys, and we took a lot of them. If not most of them, all of them. So we took a lot of them, never really got to use them. Took that, took the APCs, I took those computers, and the tape. I don't think I took anything else from that place, and that was it. We ended up getting kind of sketched out. We were there for so long, and we're like, yeah, we probably should get out of here. We ended up backing out, got out the back door, got back in the car, and went on home. Hung out at the house, played with the new stuff we just stole, and that was that, you know? Like, that was really freaking an adventure. That was fun. The mistake was going back a second time. Never go back, ever. Don't go back anywhere you did anything wrong, ever. That was our mistake. So it was like Saturday or Sunday, and at this point, like, my friend, he's still sensitive to like doing like bad stuff like that, but like he had been there once before with me, kind of warmed up to it. So we were like, yeah, let's go back. It'll be fun. It'll be awesome. We're gonna go see some stuff and blah blah blah, you know, explore some more. And it was like honestly almost instantly sketchy. When we pulled in, there wasn't like anything that really sketched me out yet. It was pretty much by the time we pulled into this parking spot, kind of put the car ducked off a little bit, and we pull into this spot, we're getting out of the car, and we see a lady, like hear a dog bark and something, and a lady down there, and see a lady just walking by on her cell phone, and we didn't think anything of it. Like, still kind of sketchy. And we start walking up to the big clubhouse, because we wanted to go back in there, and it was just sketchy. Just something didn't feel right, you know? It just felt like something's gonna go wrong here. So we were like, all right, fuck this. This isn't right. You know, that lady probably saw us. Let's get out of here. We go back. We get in the car, back up, go this way. As we start going that way, a cop passes us going this way. And we're like, just passing by. Just passing through. And of course, by the time we get to the exit of this condominium area, the cop is behind us, pulling us over. And of course, like, I can't do anything. I just had to pull over and take it. Pull over, he takes us both out of the cars, another cop pulls up by then. I go in one car, he goes in another car, and like, I know he's so good that he's not gonna lie and like try and make a story out of this. I was like, fuck it, we're telling the truth. Like, we didn't make that decision together, but I just knew that he would, so I did. So we both just like told him straight up, yeah, we came here once, took some stuff, it was just some tape, blah blah blah, like just some shit. They still were very not happy about it. The owner of all of those condos, that clubhouse, like pretty much that whole property area he came there and we saw him. He didn't speak to us, not at all, but we saw the owner of that whole complex came, and then also both of our parents were called. My dad came, my friend's dad came, and I saw them talking to the cops, but they didn't do anything. I sat in that car, the cop car, the back seat of the cop car, plastic seats for like 6 hours. That was some of like the most painful time out just sitting in a car I could have ever had. We end up finally getting out of there. I still had yet to speak to my dad. I had only spoken to the cops. And they finish all of their paperwork. It was like, mind you, it was like noon when we went out there, something like that, and we ended up leaving there at a good 8 or 9 o'clock at night. We were there for so long just doing paperwork and shit. And so they take us over to the local police station where they took us out of the police cars, brought us in and questioned us. There was this really nice lesbian cop, and her and I got along really well. I kind of like did the whole waterworks. So my mom's dead, I'm sad, I like boys, blah blah, like, you know, like really letting her have it. She ended up giving me her cell phone number. It was cool. Both my friend and I had to do that interrogation, and then we went out and met up. We were both put in the big paddy wagon, like the big silver bus van where they got the shackles. Like, we were both shackled to, like, not each other, but like shackled to like here, and then down, like the chain went down to our legs, like just like you see in like prison movies and shit. It was so like, it was such an experience. So we that was the first time I had seen each other since we were first put in the cop cars like 8 hours ago. So it was lighthearted, you know, we're sitting in this fucking paddy wagon just like, you know, like joking around. And so they took us over to what's called JDC. And then at JDC, they booked us, did our fingerprints, and the people there were really nice. They just kind of like were joking with us, and that was like back in like the memes of, damn, Daniel, look at you with them white Vans or some shit like that. And my friend had on white shoes, went in there, And like the cop, like the kid cop that was checking us in was like, damn, Daniel, look at those white vans or some shit. Like they were just joking with us. It was fun. We ended up getting out of JDC, the booking. It was only us two there as well, just me and my friend. We ended up getting out of there at like 2 or 3 in the morning, and that's when we finally met our family. My friend's dad never really liked me to begin with, just because like we're so I'm so not by the books and rules, and his dad is. So like his dad and I never really got along to begin with, and he's like, I'm very disappointed in you or some shit like that. And it's like, okay, sorry, pastor. And of course my dad, he was cool about it. He was obviously like mad and disappointed, didn't want to deal with it, but he was like, you know, I'm just glad I'm not getting this call to see you on the side of the road, you know, or like that you're shot up, you know, doing drugs or some shit in a back alley. He's like, I'm just glad it was just you exploring, having some fun. Like, he's not glad that I got arrested, but he was glad that it wasn't anything so much worse. And like I'm very thankful to have a understanding father. Like, I'm sure he's been in similar situations in his life. Ended up having to go to court for that. I got 100 hours of community service, and I had to do 2 classes. My friend, he got like 75 hours because I was driving the car and instigating the situation, whatever. He got like 75, and I think he had to do 2 classes as well. That is the story of how I got arrested. It has all been expunged from my record, so I am no longer kind of like villainous. It's over, it's gone out of my life. No cops can see it on my record anymore, but it was definitely an experience to be had. I ended up having to do like a Scared Straight like jail program. If you guys want to hear a story about that, let me know. I'll definitely try and do that. But also, let me know how you guys felt about this story time video. I feel like I ran it really long, but it was a fun story, and I wanted to tell you guys and do a story time for Wednesday. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you. Look forward to the vlog here today as well, and I'll see you next time. Okay, bye!